Hey, it's Clay on the trail, and it has been way too long. It's been a rough couple of last weeks. It's been 2 weeks since I've been to the mountains. I'm at the Christmas Meadows trailhead. I'm headed to a couple of lakes a forest ranger buddy of mine told me about. Said the fish are like eels, they're skinny, but they're hungry. See if we can catch a fish. It's also at the base of A-1. We'll see how the day goes. Kind of energy I've got and how the weather holds out. There's been some rainy clouds in the sky today, but not a huge percentage of rain in the forecast. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so I've been somewhere around a half mile on the trail. And I bailed off the trail now. I'm down at the river, obviously. And I'm headed right up into there. So I'm gonna find this place to cross the river and I'm gonna start side hilling up into there. All right, I found a spot. I'm gonna get my feet wet, but not soaked. I'm betting it's fishermen, but I'm not sure. It could be moose. Have this whole area just beat down. Whew. And there's a lot of little holes in it. There's a ton of holes here. I'm gonna fall in. So far, all I've seen on this side of the river tracks-wise are moose tracks, and there are some shod horses. But they're staying close to the river. So I found a bed where my guess is a moose has been hanging out. This tree right here, they've really been scruffing down on the bark on it. There's a couple little ponds just up here above me I'm trying to hit. Otherwise I would be headed way further south. I just gotta find my way through this little scrubby brush. I think there's a spot right over here. It's quite a trail. Whatever's living up here is left, along with all these beds and piles of scats, and there's a bunch of short trails through here. I had to do a little crawling to get through myself. all the years I've come to the Uintas, I have never seen a floating tree. This is why they tell you to look up before you pitch your tent. That would be a royal bummer if you were sleeping underneath that when it decided to give. But I've never quite seen one to that extent. So I'm always torn at a moment like this. Like 540 feet away from these ponds. Keep going uphill that way. But where I eventually want to go is that way, and it's downhill. So do I really want to climb up the hill to see some possibly dried out ponds? Or do I just go while the trail is good? But I've walked so far to get this close. Well, it's always a good sign when you start seeing sky instead of more trees. If you're trying to get to the top of something anyway. Wish I had the energy my dog did. Gosh, come here. Well, this was my worry for walking all the way up here. This is one of the ponds. Dry as a popcorn fart. I have no reason to believe the one over the hill will be any different. Well, I stand corrected. Pretty big, full of lily pads. Flowers are all gone. It's pretty. Way up over on that other side, it actually looks like there's a little open water. Cash is gonna crawl in, get a drink, and cool off. And we're gonna head on. So this pond kind of comes out of the meadow. Comes around here. I heard something big scamper off, and there's grass is all smashed down here, so I'm pretty sure there was a moose here when I got here. All right, well, the good thing about coming up to that pond, other than the fact that it was actually there, is there's somewhat of a bench here. It's going to have its little ups and downs, but I'm not going to be climbing straight up for quite a while. I got to cut over to the creek that comes out of the lake I'm going to. And then I will follow it up to the lake. So there's a lot less down trees here to crawl over. And a lot less vertical up and down. And quite a few game trails. So the map showed me just a little bit of a rocky outcropping, and I did my best to hit the very bottom of it. And I did. I only have to cross this little bit of it. And it's really not that bad. I'm sure it's worse up there. It does look like we got a little bit more to cross right over in there, but so far this flat spot's way more fun to walk on than going up. So as I'm trucking along through the forest here, and I've marked it as a waypoint, I see a blue tarp laying out, and I get over here and there's another tarp with an old white gas stove wrapped up in it. Garbage everywhere. I have nothing against hunting. I've done it before, I still do occasionally. But there's a deer bag, some deer scent, some scent keep away stuff for your person, and just a bunch of crap that this guy, for whatever reason, decided he needed to leave behind. And this had to have been horse packed. And how they got it here, I don't know the answer to that. Unless they just had a horse get away from them and buck the packs up through the rocks. There's a little bit of a flat spot down there. I just can't stress enough, folks. I hate seeing stuff like this in the mountains. Don't leave your crap for someone else. I filled up a bucket. I'm gonna haul out as much as I can, but I'm on foot. I'm not gonna touch the weak side of this. I did mark it. And it doesn't look horribly old. There's a bone here that could very well be a horse bone if somebody lost one of their pack horses, but I just don't see any other sign of it. So I'll be adding about 20 pounds to my 6-pound pack to haul some of this crap out. There's a little bit of fall colors peeking through here. It is that time of year. They are busy gathering pine cones this time of year. And my dog, he's yet to even see one, or he'd be chasing after him. So right down here, I'm coming upon the outlet creek, stream, whatever, to the lake I want to go to, but it did start raining and it's clouded up. There hasn't been any lightning or thunder, but it's just coming upon noon. So unless some miracle happens and everything just clears up, there will be no summit of A-1. It's a good way to get killed. Summiting mountains in the Uintas in the afternoon in a rainstorm. Lightning gets people every year. And we'll see how long it decides to rain for. I brought a soft shell jacket. Not full rain gear. So if it gets too crappy, ooh, especially with this extra weight, I will bail out. So I reached the creek here, which is only significant as one, ooh, bucket's got me swinging, as a trail marker. Lake I want to go to is up there, but not wilderness area. Wilderness area. This creek is the division for it. The fork in this creek, it comes in down from a different area I don't want to go to. The creek I need to follow is over here, and I've already got myself not screwed up. Thank goodness I pay attention to the map and knew that there would be the second creek, or I may have followed it up. So I broke out the fly pole. I've been hitting this little pools in this little creek. There's little 4 or 5 inch fingerlings down in it. Nothing to brag about for sure, but I don't seem too interested in my fly so far. There is all sorts of fresh moose droppings and beds up here. So there's a chance I'll run into something here. But I'm about a half mile from the lake, so I'm gonna kind of start trucking. It's not very often you run into a survey marker in the middle of nowhere. But it was hard to miss. Big old pile of rocks with a spike sticking out of it. Doesn't really say anything spectacular. Kind of an odd place for it. Well, as fate would have it, this is the first lake. And the only water here is in this little creek. I am sure glad that I hauled my fly pole up here. But there is the backside of A-1. They call it A-1 because as the snow melts in the spring on the northeast side, it actually says A, capital A, and a 1 underneath it in the snow as it melts. Kind of a cool thing to see. I've lived here for 20 years or plus, and only ever looked up here at the right time once, when it was just bold as day, A1 right on the side of it. So I guess part of me is not heartbroken that I'm not making it up there because I am beat. But I'm gonna go find this other supposed lake. And if there's nothing there, I'm gonna eat lunch and get out of here. Hallelujah. At least it wasn't a complete waste of a hike, although the hike itself was worth it. I do love a little reward, and there are fish rising. They don't look very big, but we'll see if any of them want to eat my hook. Well, there's the first one that let me catch them. They're not very big, but I've had 3 take it, but they get off before I can strip the line in. If I can catch a decent one, I might have one for lunch. I had some bannock, but a little extra energy to get me out of here. All right, here's number 2. There's big ones out there, but the little ones are getting them first. Number 3, a little bigger, but not big enough. Number 4, and I've lost count. I want to say 5, but here's the next one. And the next one. So I decided to keep one and eat one. He's about the biggest one I've caught so far. He ain't much, but haven't had trout in a while and I miss it. So we'll go over here. Fire dangers are crazy. Find a nice dirt spot, do a quick fire and get out of here. So there are 2 things I've missed the last couple of weeks where I haven't been able to come up here. One is the smell of a fire, and it didn't even dawn on me till I smelled it. 2 is a good trout for dinner. Been out of the water and on the fire within 5 minutes. It didn't get any fresher than that. Not monsters today by any means, but yum, yum, yum. Got some good coals going, some good coals coming up. Just throw them right on there. They don't eat the skin, so it doesn't matter how dirty it gets. And he's little, it won't take long to cook. All right, for sure, the best improvement to my Sawyer Mini water filtration system has been this Ceanoc water bag. But not just from our water system. Make sure this fire is out, out, out. Don't want to make the paper causing a fire. All right, now fire's out. I've had a good rest. Ate some more bannock and some fish. Filled my belly full of water and then filled my water bottle full of water. For a no-name little lake, there are 2 fire pits here. I know for sure I'm not the first person here, but I have not seen a human being all day long. And that's the way I like it. So Cash and I, we're gonna hightail it out or it's gonna be dark before we get back to the car. So here's another small little pond. I didn't even show up on the map. Obviously not what I came up here for, but see, we're getting fall colors with this stuff. I do need to make a correction. Last couple of videos I said I've been eating raspberries, which they were, and bearberries, which they weren't. They're actually blueberries. I bought a book on plants because I'm trying to learn increase my knowledge of the outdoors a little bit. And they're actually blueberries. Blueberries and bearberry, plant-wise, look very, very similar. They even both have bark on them. But all those things I thought were bearberries that were so delicious were blueberries, and well, they're pretty delicious. See, here's some fresh scat that's got flies on it and it's soft. Somewhere within 100 yards of me, there's a moose hiding from me. Anyway, so correction on that. Bearberries, when I first tried to eat them, I thought they would be gross. And real bearberries really are not very yummy. They're red, they're waxy, and have bigger seeds in them. Where the blueberries are blue and delicious. They're always where you least expect them. And I never ever find them till I'm headed home and I've taken the worst possible trail up. We'll see if I can find the next set and take the trail down. I do plan on going straight down this time instead of cutting across. Coming out more on the trail. So this is the steepest part I've encountered so far. And this stupid bucket I got on here, hauling the garbage out with, isn't helping anything. I was stepping over a log back up by the meadows up there, and bucket shifted and tipped me over upside down. I banged my knee and my hand pretty hard. And I'm not loving the downhill part. But I can see the meadows down below, so I'll make it. Well, I made it back to my truck. I did 7 hours and 44 minutes, 9.49 miles. I'm tired. I'll go home and have some dinner. Thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoy the videos I'm putting out. If you do, please give them a thumbs up, share, subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate all the help I can get. I'm just trying to grow my channel and share the great outdoors with anybody that wants to watch it. Thank you.